speaker is Kusar from Slovenian Institute for Materials and Structures, and he will present the work on bridge inspection quality improvement using standard inspection method.
On behalf of Task Group 1, I would like to present our future work regarding bridge inspection quality improvement. Our task group was formed about a month ago, and it deals with resources, being human resources, actually inspectors, and equipment. So here we can see for the third time today the quality control plan framework, which was presented by Rade in Delft. And our task group deals with observations only. Now, in general, there are four main approaches to damage detection and assessment. And probing and structural health monitoring, of course, they do give better, more reliable results. They're just not suitable for large-scale periodical damage detection, which means for now and in future we will probably be stuck with visual inspections and to some extent with non-destructive testings. As already mentioned, this does not apply for landmark bridges or some other very important bridges to the network, which should, of course, have structural health monitoring installed. Now, first, let's take a look at visual inspections, which is, of course, the most common method of data acquisition. They are very simple and cost-effective on the plus side. On the other hand, they are somewhat less reliable as all the other approaches. Fortunately, data quality can be improved by, first, improvement of existing inspection protocols and complementary use of non-destructive tests. Let's take a look at issues regarding the visual inspections. Now, inspection frequency, we should decide that should it be fixed or dependent upon the bridge state or importance, maybe age. And now, what is the number of years that a certain bridge should be inspected? Let's say in Slovenia we have inspections every 2 years, and as we have heard, in Netherlands it's every 6 years. But they probably have at least 3 to 5 times the amount of money available to execute the inspection. So you'll probably be closer to the Netherlands system than our own. The second thing is inspector qualification and experience. What should be the minimal formal education for the inspectors? When is an inspector considered experienced, and do high-risk bridges need to be examined by experienced inspectors only? And maybe some other questions as well need to be resolved. Regarding inspectors' rotations, should on the selected bridge, should inspections on the selected bridge be performed by the same inspector year after year, because he knows the bridge and he sees its deterioration with time, or is it better for rotation to be mandatory, because he may skip some damage year after year? So this is also the question that needs to be answered. Regarding data input, should the whole report be done on field, or should it be some of it should be completed in the office? And then we have reviews. For the office review part, we have to decide if some parts of inspection reports always need a review, maybe critical findings, or I don't know, the most important bridges always need a review. we'll see. And on-field review, what percentage of bridges investigated should be reviewed, and how do we select these bridges? By random sampling. We always have critical bridges in the on-field review and so on. Regarding refresh training, in Slovenia and most other countries do not have refresh training for the inspectors, but even I, after I don't know how many regular main and detailed bridge inspections, feel the need to I don't know, at least talk to all the inspectors and to, let's say, harmonize the way we look and inspect bridges. And should this training be, I don't know, only theoretical or maybe on field as well? So practical, what's the frequency, every 3-5 years? We'll talk about that in our work group during this year. And last but not least, performance indicators. Should some performance indicators, like we saw, let's say, scour settlement, be given more emphasis during inspection? And these are all questions that we'll hopefully answer during this year in our work group. So what about non-destructive testing? They're not regularly integrated in periodical bridge inspection. However, they should be applied when the degradation process is intensified. Why? Because application may bring valuable additional information regarding either damage depth, which we can see, damage intensity, or even reveal some concealed damage. Like only reliable, relatively simple, and if possible inexpensive NDT should be used for regular bridge inspections. Why? Because advanced methods are just not suitable for large-scale implementation. We have few thousand bridges. We certainly can't afford to execute the tests which take, I don't know, several days or are really expensive. So we did an indicative overview of about 30 NDTs, and we found out that at least half of them are completely useless from our point of view. They're not useless in general, but we cannot use them for regular or main bridge inspections. So we'll elaborate on that further during this year. And our aim is to identify the methods appropriate in regarding time consumption, cost efficiency, and result reliability. And of course, most of all, they have to cover shortcomings of visual inspection, because there's just overlapping. We don't need entities. So to conclude, the damage state of majority of bridges is and in the future will be determined by conducting periodical visual inspections only. Selection of the most appropriate protocol for conducting regular inspections could prove to be extremely demanding, because best possible effort for quality data acquisition will stay in the domain of detailed bridge inspection. As number of bridges that we have to inspect times limited financial resources demands for only reasonable effort. But for now, we cannot really say what this reasonable effort is. And of course, it does depend from country to country what are the financial resources available. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Are there any questions? Okay, I can ask.
I think at one point that would be really useful for owners is when should an owner proceed with a more deeper analysis of the bridge, in what situations and also with what frequency, because of course it's unfeasible at this point, at this moment. I would like to do that, but from a technical point of view, but it isn't feasible to monitor with very sophisticated systems all our bridges of our assets. I would like to. It would be very interesting, even also for academic and research, but it's impossible. And I think that one biggest issue is that we can identify the indicators, I would say, for most of the situations. Of course, there are the natural hazards and terrorism, etc., which still needs some research on these topics. But I can also say that for some indicators I can use computational methods, and others I can use simple visual inspection. The problem is the effort that the owner needs to do from a very lighter perspective when we have a new bridge or something like that, or when you go to a more deeper perspective. In what situations should we proceed? And I think this is not still clear, because we saw a lot of quality control and documents, etc., from several countries, and they say, okay, it's for 2 years or 5 years, and sometimes you do a principal inspection when you realize in simple visual inspection that there are some big damage, and then you need to invest more. But there are no common practice. I think that there are a huge difference also between countries to countries, and I think this is something that I will be happy to know. In what situation should we do monitoring? In what situation should we apply NDT? And in what situation should we do more complex numerical analysis, etc., etc., etc.? Because only to finalize, I think that for network level, we can use quality and quantitative control for estimating resilience, etc. But it's important for the owner to know when has this bridge, in what situation we should apply it.
You'll probably have an answer by the next workshop. Or did you expect an answer right now? Yeah, this is one.
Any other? Sorry. This is all the case. Thank you very much.